We're there at your worst moment to try to make it as good as possible. And we know that nobody ever really wants to see us. If we're there, it's really bad. We land, we assess our patient, we package them up. Depending on where we are, or how close what the problem is with the patient, off we go. Really, the most important thing is getting them there as fast as possible.
The exciting thing about being a travel nurse is just the adventure that it takes you on. Traveling nursing is being able to travel anywhere within the United States and to be able to work in that environment as a nurse. And also the company's going to be able to provide you with free housing, a furnished apartment, and be able to provide everything for you so you can just up and move and be able to go wherever you want.
What makes us different is that while many other practices are Jills of all trades and masters of none, we are Jills of few trades and masters of all. Our services menu is focused on just a few of the most effective, safe, FDA-approved aesthetic procedures on the market today. By studying, teaching, and performing such a limited number of procedures, we are truly experts at what we do.
In the Air Force, the nurses and the doctors have to develop a unified front. And I've often heard doctors say, I don't know where I would be without that nurse. If I were a recruit thinking about coming into the military and I was thinking about coming into the medical field, I would definitely come into the Air Force. There's just no way around the quality of care the Air Force provides, the educational opportunities that you can seek, and the fact that your job will be secure.
Nurses like Poisina spend 40 hours a week inside the walls of the San Diego Central Jail, and they play a key role in the booking process. For a person being booked at the jail, the process begins here at intake, where the soon-to-be inmate is asked a number of questions to make sure they are healthy enough to continue the process.
Any communicable diseases like tuberculosis, hepatitis, HIV.
Poisina's patients are then put in a holding cell before being transferred up to the second floor. There, they receive a more extensive health screening.
The nurses here in correctional nursing, you have to have good assessment skills. You have to be able to look at them, observe what's going on right away, because you don't have a doctor here 24/7. You have to be able to evaluate, treat them, get them stable so that they can go on to their housing unit.
Mental health nursing is all about kindness, and it's about keeping people safe.
It's about getting to know people and being there for people when they're at the most vulnerable.
They're the specialists that work with people who are really severely mentally ill and in a really desperate state.
Without empathy, understanding, warmth and genuineness, we have nothing.
It's entirely thanks to the skills and kindness of mental health nurses that I'm still alive today.
And a few years ago, I was introduced to a thing called parish nursing, and I was excited both as a healthcare administrator and as a church member. Parish nursing provided an opportunity for my hospital to reach out into the community and make a difference in people's lives and to impact their health status long before they had a need for hospitalization, and that was most rewarding.
And hospice care is changing the hope from hope for a cure to hope for a symptom-free quality of life. Basically, I'm a primary care provider, primary nurse, as well as a care plan coordinator, patient advocate, nurse educator, and a case manager. It's all wrapped into one smiling package.
The field of geriatrics is certainly complex. People become more complex as they age.
It is not simple care. It's not routine care. Every case is unique and different.
It's challenging in a way because you really call on so many things, your communication skills, your observation skills, your assessment skills, that I think it's really the ultimate challenge.
Entering the room, I saw her staring into the darkness. I can still remember the cold chill that creeped over my body. I stood speechless at her bedside, visualizing my shadow, slowly stepping backwards out of the room. Why? Months after, while sleeping in the comfort of my own home, next to my loved one, I awoke in a sweat. I looked over at him, my eyes soaked with heavy tears. My heart waited. I couldn't help but wonder, could it have been me? As a sexual assault nurse examiner, I allow myself to be exposed to a multitude of situations, some happy, some sad, and some that even I have yet to understand.
Fusion nurses they're fantastic. I have not had one time that I've come in here that I didn't feel like that I was their best friend. They come in, they make me, feel at home. My husband comes to every infusion I have, and they make him feel, at home as well. Extremely knowledgeable. And they, I have a port for my chemo, and they do every step of the way, even though, I get my last chemo next week, but each time I get educated on something else. And every one of them has a different personality, but every one of them is fantastic.
I didn't think I'd be able to make it this far. I was, having financial problems and couldn't afford, the formula for my son.
It's good to have someone there for you, someone that can answer your questions, whether it's your son, yourself, about your health, personal life, anything. It's good to have that support system there for you.
They're in such vulnerable positions, they're letting us into their house. We're kind of becoming almost like a friend to them. They're disclosing information to us that maybe they haven't shared with anybody before.
She gave me, the confidence to show me that I am a good parent, because sometimes I wonder,
We as nurses are in these families' lives and the most important time of their lives. And, we can't help but take that to heart and to, really build a bond over that.
I would say Caitlin has come to see me more times than anyone that I am even close to. She's helped me find daycare, clothes for my baby.
They consider us friends and part of the family, but kind of vice versa as well. We definitely have a professional relationship, but I think about them all the time, and I truly want the best for them and really hope that our relationship takes them far and can be a good example of how to have healthy relationships.
I live about 30 miles from Monoman. I've lived on this reservation and worked in this area for all of my life, and there is a really big need here. The fun thing about working here is you really never know what your day is going to bring you. I see patients from all through the lifespan here. I see emergency, I do walk-in, I do primary care. How you guys doing?
If we didn't have this here, we'd have to travel an hour to the doctor, to the hospital in one direction.
I've been here 2 years now, and it took all of that 2 years for my patients that I see on a regular basis to trust that I'll be here when they call.
You see Mom? You see Mom over there?
She takes more time with the patients. I think that's maybe the nurse part of her.
Here at Ohio Dreams Action Sports Camp, I'm also a registered nurse, and I care for all of the kids as if they were my own. My background is trauma and care of the adult intensive care, and I also have almost 30 years of experience as a first responder with our local ski patrol. So when your kids come to camp, I'm the one that takes care of them, and I take care of them as if they are my own.
I immediately saw a difference in working in fertility versus working other places. We get to build a one-on-one relationship with our patients and really get to know them. Everything from what their journey was to get here to what they do, what their husbands do. We get to know them by name and also recognize their voices over the phone. When they get that positive pregnancy result, we are jumping up and down with them.